Dunpa, Chanden, teaching Sheba, Tachumba, Yantaba, Zobe, Sanjay, Ripa, Tanshazo, Temba, Devara Sheba, Jidin Jemba, Kibu, Dive, Kalo, Joa, Lana, Mepa, Lata, Minamje, Tumba, Sanjay, Chumdende, Pejawa, Shaja, Toba, La Chatselo, Jodo, Japsu, Chowo, Tumba, Chumdende, teaching Sheba, Dajamba, Yantaba, Zobe, Sanjay, Ripa, Tanshazo, Temba, Devara Sheba, Jidin Jemba, Kibu Dewe Kalo Jowa Lana Meba Lata Minamji Tumba Sanje Chumdende Pejawa Shaja Toba La Chaze Lo Chuto Jinsu Chewo Tumba Chumdende Tishin Sheba Dajomba Yandaba Zobe Sanje Riba Dansha Su Temba Devara Sheba Jiden Jemba Kibu Dewe Kalo Jowa Lana Meba Lata Minamji Tumba Sanje Chumdende Pejawa Shaja Toba La Chaze Lo Chuto Jinsu Chewo Kanze Kanyi Zo Je Tangze Sa Jin De La Gongpa Dunpo Ne Ngani Ji Ten Di Na Cho Je Su Te Ze Je Ba Je La Cha Ze Lo Nam Da Gong A Chu Tu Su San Wa Yi Shi Jia Zo Si Je Lun Bo Da Da Ba Ji Ten Sum Do La Nye Wa Gongpo Cho Ni Je La Cha Ze Lo Zhen Cho De Ba Ti Me Da We Shi Se Do Cha Wa Je La Cha Ze Lo Du Je Ju Cha Si Pa Su Ma Ji Nyame Chejin Jela Cha Zelo Gombo Doje Chindenba Tanje Chibe Dunba Sena Yunde Jazo Chin Dijin Shela Chaha Zelo Dabe Deja Tewaju Jewe Nyeson Le Dujin Chidu Dundam Chuchu Ba Shijo Chila Cha Dena De Lam Ya De Laba Da La Rabdu Ne Shinji Tamba Yundin Gede La Ya Cha Zelo Diba Chiyan Mi Cha Chin Jewa Pesum Soba Rangi Simne Yonsu de Tene Sanje Tembai, Maravi Mame, Jama Seba Chu, Tan Melam Lotan Tindab, DJ Chenan Titarata, Senam Ti, Tanje Sibai, Combato Ne Junji Tatu, Gata Nata, Chive Laptrude, Sibe Sole to Trevor Show. 마승제 메시라 바르지 마제 민가 나제 모니 소소라데 이시주 뒤송제 외용라 차제로 대야다 가데가데 바라가데 바라승가데 부디예소 대야다 가데가데 바라가데 바라승가데 부디예소 대야다 가데가데 바라가데 바라승가데 부디예소 Gere Pomba de Chu Shiwa Mitu Nebe Jenda Jawa Temperature Pesum Sojo Dashi De Jang Ding De Le Sho Nindu Jiwa Zerna Kuji Niji Niji Tinse Kanyi Tola Pember Chen Namshi Niji Jiden Tunru Zeba Kanta Yanda Timbe Tuna Namba Kunde Nazo De Sumba Nindu Chanjo Sembe Soje Sanje Jine Yumde La Cha Lo Kanji Tenjin Deba Chung, Kaba Meba, Ti Meba, Chepa Meba, Ta Meba, Unga Meba, Tro Meba, Tate Tune, Tunje Me, Chepa Nishi Shindemba, Zobe Sanje Mananje, Tamba, Deba Chatse Lo. Saji Beji Junje Me To Tang, Rira Linshin Nide Jemba, Sanje Shindu Mikde Pewai, Jokri Namda Shindu Cheba Sho. Yedama Guru Ratna Mendala Kamniya Taya Me Sanje Chedan Soje Chonala Chanchu Pato Tani Chepsoche Daji Chushi Kebe Chonam Je Tola Penche Sanje Tupa Sho Sanje Chedan Soje Chonala Chanchu Pato Tani Chepsoche Daji Chushi Kebe Chonam Je Tola Penche Sanje Tupa Sho Sanje Chedan Soje Chonala Chanchu Pato Tani Chepsoche Daji Chushi Kebe Chonam Je Tola Penche Sanje Tupa Sho Kanje tu tse nye sone, tawa tanje pambe che tambe che ne tunze, kodam te la cha tse lo, nama la ye ke da lo da nye jen je ye te bonda da mi ke nam ta chua, kunje ta na chi zam, tam che ke to ta je chue ten to, ranja sung ra kun la ta we mi, ke san taba tu we chu mo cho, Tsewe kyungwe tamke tseba ye tse shini namla kucha tse. We are in stanza 18th. Rashi kaya meba tang tila tene te chungbe namsha tamche teba ni mike tuwa mechi kwe. That there is no intrinsic existence at all, and that all functions as this arising. Independent on that, what need is there to say that these two converge without conflict. So this stanza 18th, which means it's what you call it is establishing that the Buddha or the teacher is unsurpassed, which means the Buddha, he is like one of the supreme teacher. I think these are two stanzas, maybe same meaning. So the first stanza 18, Rashi kanya meba dan tele tene te chungwe namsha tangje teba ni mike tuwa mechi kwees. Then stanza 19, tene chungwe gyunzengi tata wala me tenshe, lekson tene konchwe mao lana me pekyu. So the stanza 18, that there is no intrinsic existence at all, right? There is no independent, intrinsic, inherent. All of them are same meaning, right? Inherent or intrinsic independent. So there's no intrinsic existence at all, and that all function as this arising and depend on that. So which means ultimately, right, there's nothing exists. So not intrinsic existence. None of things that exist independently, inherently, but that doesn't mean things not exist, right? It's also that all functions, the things that exist, they are functionings because this arising and depend on that. This, which means all the result, all the fruits, right? All the fruit and results arising and depend on that, which is the causes. So that is the causes. So everything exists, everything's are, all the results are depend on its own cause condition. Therefore, everything that exists. Therefore, all of these are functions. But that doesn't mean it's not exist. What need is there to say that these two converge without conflict? So what need to say? There's nothing. It's these two, empty of inherent existence and dependent origination, right? So these two converge. It means complementary, right? They are not contradict without conflict. So our main point is, emptiness doesn't mean nothing exists. Emptiness means dependent origination. That is why that these two, emptiness and dependent origination, is converge, which means same meaning. It's what you call they are complementary, right? Not contradictories. Tene chungwe junzengi tata wala meteshe leson tene konjoje mawala na mebejo. It is through the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards an extreme, So through the reason of dependent origination, one does not fall into the extreme, either absolutism, either nihilism, right? So the extreme, because of understanding the dependent origination, dependent negated, right? Negated what you call the absolutism, and the origination is helping to negate the nihilisms. So therefore, the reason of dependent origination that one does not lean towards extreme. So one does not fall into the in the two extreme, either nihilism and absolutism. Absolutism means the view which is who grasp things exist independently, inherently. It's called absolutism view. Things not exist at all. That is called nihilism, right? Extreme the nihilisms. So dependent origination helps to not falling down into these two extremes. That you have clear this excellently is the reason or savor, which means the Buddha, of your being an unexalted speaker. So that is why, you declare this, right? Excellently. You declare what? You declare empty means dependent origination. Dependent origination means empty, right? So that excellently is the reason Buddha, the teacher, you are being an unexalted speaker. You are the one of the supreme, one of the top, one of the best teacher, right, among all. So these stanza, it's what they means these two stanza 18 and 19, it shows the teaching of emptiness as a dependent origination, right, was established as a supreme teacher, right? Established teaching on what we call teaching of emptiness, or is the meaning of dependent origination, right? Was proved, was established, you know, as the supreme teacher, Buddha. You are the supreme teacher because of your teaching on, emptiness means dependent origination. None of other teacher taught that in this planning. You are the first, the teacher who, taught on emptiness means dependent origination, right? So that's the very reason. That's the very reason. Emptiness means dependent origin. That's the main reason it established that Buddha, you are the unsurpassed teacher, right? You are the supreme teachers. So these two stanzas, which actually to prove Buddha as one of the best speaker in this planet among the millions, countless of teachers from the different tradition, right? Different philosophy and what you call the philosophy, they taught it. But Buddha Shakyamuni is the one of the, what you call, among these all teachers, one of the best supreme because of the teaching on dependent origination, which means the emptiness. Emptiness, which means dependent origination. So that philosophy is none of other teacher taught it. That is why, You are it's called savor of you being an unexcelled speaker, an unexcelled speaker. So stanza 19. So we praise to the Buddha is not, oh, Buddha, you have compassion, you taught in compassion, or you have some kind of miracle, or you can fly, or you can, sink under the water, or something. It's not talking about that. But here, mainly praise to the Buddha because of your teaching on this philosophy, dependent origination. It's marvelous. It's one of the most important knowledge. None of the teacher taught it. So you praise to the Buddha, through teaching on dependent origination. So when you really see that way, right, you really feel respect to the Buddha by understanding his teaching on dependent origination, and that respect attitude, that faith helps you to you know, cultivate the wisdom of dependent origination, knowledge of emptiness. So when you're able to generate wisdom of emptiness, another word, when you're able to understand the emptiness, then that knowledge, that wisdom can help you to release your ignorance, all your causes of sufferings, all your problems. Or another word, this knowledge will lead you to the ultimate happiness, the genuine happiness. So that is why we really appreciate to the Buddha on teaching on dependent origination, right? Uh, Without him in this planet, right, this philosophy may not exist at all. Because of him, this philosophy exists in this planet. Therefore, number of his follower being study, being meditate on this, experience on this philosophy, and that tremendous help them to overcome, right, all the suffering and a samsara, specific the suffering of mind of ego grasping. So that's because of the teaching on dependent originations, right? Nothing else. So liberation is only through understanding the emptiness. It's no any other door or other path to achieve the liberation, without wisdom of emptiness. That is why, we appreciate, and praise to the Buddha. And the next stanza, 20, then stanza 21, tele ngosar juba tang, tele me to chunga kang, tsiti kela tenani, tebar tuji shentu means. So, stanza 20, all of this is devoid of essence, right? Devoid of essence means empty of ultimate, empty of independent, right? That essence. And from this arises that effect. These two certainties complement each other with no contradiction at all. So now this stanza 20 and stanza 21. What is more amazing than this? What is more marvelous than this? If one praise you in this manner, this is real praise. Otherwise not. So these two stanza is kind of the previous, all the stanza, which kind of uh, um, extensively explain the you know manner of perceiving emptiness of inherent existence as the meaning of dependent origination, right? So the rest of all the steps like the previous, Buddha who perceiving emptiness, you know, has the meaning of dependent origination. Detail, extensively explained. Now, this 20 and 21 stanza is condensed, right? It's state of summary. It's condensed to praise to the Buddha on that same way, just all conclusion, the simple summary in these two stanza. So all of this is devoid of essence. So all of this, all the phenomena, right? So everything, external, internal phenomena, everything's are empty of independent existence, devoid of essence means devoid of independent, devoid of ultimate, right, essence. And from this arise that effect. From this causes arise that result, right? That result. That result because of these causes, right? So that result because of these causes. These two certainty complement each other. So these two certainty, dependent origination in terms of causality, cause and effect, right? And emptiness, which is empty of inherent existence. These two certainty complement each other. These two, philosophies, certainties are complementary each other. It's supporting each other's, right? Dependent origination helps support to the emptiness, not contradict, not contradict at all. So that one, because of the Buddha's, his teaching on this. So majority people, emptiness and dependent origination is completely contradict in general. When we thinking about things not exist independently, things not exist inherently, that means these things are not exist at all. We never think so. Things not exist independently, which means things exist relatively, dependently. So going on that way is the Buddha's, he's discovered that knowledge. So that is why, one aspect, the phenomena, one aspect is empty of inherent existence. There's another aspect they have is dependent origination. So dependent and emptiness not contradict each other. It's complementary, right? It's supporting each other's, So that kind of knowledge, because of you, we discover it. Without you, we will not discover that. So either entire beings may fall into either nihilism, extreme of nihilism, or either extreme of absolutism, right? So falling down into extreme view is the causes of suffering. That's why we suffer, right? Entire beings suffer because of they are falling down into extreme view, either nihilism, absolutism, right? That is why we circle in samsara, right? So because of you, the Buddha, you the one who came, these two certainty, dependent origination and emptiness, empty of inherent existence, which is here the use different word, devoid of essence, and this arises at effect, right? Dependent origination. These two certainty complement each other with no contradiction at all. So that kind of knowledge, because of you, We discover it through understanding on that, and we practice, we experience through that we can overcome our extreme view, which is the fundamental causes of samsara, right? That is why you are the one of the best teacher. Therefore, here, stanza 21, what is the more amazing than this, right? What is the more amazing than this teaching on dependent origination? What is the more marvelous than this, right? What is the more marvelous than teaching on dependent origination? If one praise you in this manner, if somebody praise you in this manner, which means praise you in the teaching of dependent origination, this is a real praise. This is a really praise to the Buddha. Otherwise, not. Others' praise is not that much powerful, right? In general, all the Buddhists praise to the Buddha, right? Everybody's. There's a praise to their teacher, but the different meanings. Majority people, praise to the Buddha, or teaching of compassion, teaching on love, teaching on peace, teaching on this or that, or maybe Buddha blessed this, all kind of things that's how they praise. But the real praise here is praising to the Buddha on teaching on dependent originations, right? Empty means dependent origination. So that praise, when you praise it, is the real praise. Why it's real praise? Because who saved you, right? Who saved you from your suffering? Your real savior, right? Who will really lead you to the ultimate happiness? Your wisdom of emptiness, right? Your wisdom, your knowledge, the wisdom of emptiness or dependent origination is the main savior. Because this is the wisdom who can directly cut your, what you call, mind of ego grasping, mind of self grasping, the ignorance, which is the fundamental causes of all your mental afflictions, all the samsara, right? Last time I mentioned when the Buddha taught how we circle in samsara, he teach the 12 link of interdependence, right? The main causes, he introduced ignorance, right? What is that ignorance? Self-grasping. Mind of self-grasping, the ignorance, is the root causes. So therefore, wisdom of emptiness, wisdom who understanding the emptiness means dependent origination, that wisdom is the only can directly cut your mind of ego grasping. So that is why that knowledge, that wisdom, only, what you call helps by Buddha Shakyamuni teaching on dependent origination, right? Without teaching on this dependent origination, we are dark, in the dark, right? We are in dark. It's ignorance. We have no idea about this knowledge. So, for mind of ego grasping, no way to overcome. There's no way to, eliminate it. Only because of the Buddha's teaching on dependent origination. That is why, what is more amazing than this? What is more marvelous than this? If one praise you in this manner, this is the real praise. Otherwise, not, right? Nagarjuna says, one of his texts, which is called Bodhicitta Vivarana. So bodhicitta vivarana, I think, which means the commentary on bodhicitta, commentary on the mind of enlightenment. There's one text written by Nagarjuna. He says, having known that phenomena are empty, whoever relies upon karma and its fruit, this is more wonders and the wonders. This is more marvelous than the marvelous. So having understanding new, having known that phenomena are empty, right? And same time, whoever rely on karma and its fruit, which means the law of karma, law of causality. So when you're understanding these two, empty means law of karma, law of causality, right? Dependent. Then they're saying this is more wonders than the wonders. This is more marvelous than the marvelous. So understanding the dependent originations, right? Emptiness means dependent origination. If you have that knowledge, then you are the more wondrous than the wonder, right? Marvelous than the marvelous. Why? This knowledge will leads you to your ultimate happiness. So that's why it's called one of the marvelous knowledge, one of the most important knowledge. That's how the Nagarjuna says. So now saying the person who teach that, this is the one of the marvelous teacher than others, right? This is more wonder teacher than others. So that's how, is the marvelous than the marvelous. This is more wonder teacher than the wonders. Same time, whoever understand that, whoever have that knowledge, right? Your knowledge is the marvelous than the marvelous, wonders than the, more wonders than the wonders. So one of the best knowledge. That's why the Nagarjuna says. So also the, what is his name? Chantakirti, right? The Chantakirti, the engage to the middle way in text. He says, therefore, this reason of dependent origination cuts through all the nets of wrong views. So therefore, this reason of dependent origination, right, that wisdom of emptiness, wisdom who understanding the dependent origination cuts through the nets of wrong view. Wrong view will cut by the wisdom who understanding the dependent origination, right? So Chandrakirti also said that same meanings. Therefore, as a now here conclusion here, all these, stanzas, they praise to the Buddha, mainly to share the dharma, which is mainly dependent origination, means the emptiness, right? That teaching. So therefore now, as a student of the Buddha, one of the very important the dharma which we need to understand, which we need to learn, is this philosophy, dependent origination, right? Emptiness. So that's, if you miss this philosophy, then you miss huge big things. You're not able to receive the main teaching of the Buddha, right? You didn't receive the main teaching of the Buddha. So the Buddha's main teaching is dependent origination, right? which means entry of inherent existence. So that is why, as the student of the Buddha, really our responsibility is to really study on this dependent origination, the philosophy of dependent origination, right? But we need to put our effort, our time into this philosophy, right? To study on this philosophy. So that is how we always think about that. So therefore, we praise to the Buddha on this teaching on this, dependent origination. So when you sincerely feel appreciation to the Buddha, for teaching the dependent origination, then your faith, your respect attitudes will help you, to engage, means to what you call bring it you into the dependent origination, the philosophy of dependent origination. It helps you to into the middle way philosophy. So that's why the faith is the one who connect you into the teaching of Buddha Dharma, right? So some people have faith, which is the faith of Buddha's life story. It's very inspiration, it inspire you. Like through that, when you have faith, those faiths are good. So bring you into Buddhism, but not into the main essence of Buddha's teachings. So the faith which you have is through understanding the teaching of dependent origination, right? Which means the empty of inherent existence. Out of that, faith and respect attitude to the Buddha will really brings you into that philosophy. Out of that faith, when you prostration, when you offer to the Buddha, right? When you respecting, bowing, recite the prayer, any praise, when you do it, it helps to grow the wisdom of emptiness. It helps to cleansing your mind of ego grasping, right? So that is why this, where the Lama Tsongkhapa is saying is, this is real praise, otherwise not, right? The last line, stanza 21. This is a real praise, which means it doesn't mean other are not praise, but they are praise. But the praising to the Buddha through cultivating your appreciation, respect attitude to the Buddha through understanding the teaching of dependent origination, right? Out of that, when you cultivate your faith and respect, then when you praise to the Buddha, when you offering, when you prostrating to the Buddha, of these merits, all these actions becoming special causes of understanding the emptiness, special causes of cleansing your obstacle, right? Your obstacle, which is obstacle to you to realizing the emptiness, right? Obstacle to you understanding the emptiness. So therefore, I mentioned last time, when the Lama Tsongkhapa, received advice from the Manjushri, and how should he experience emptiness, right? That's how he guided, tremendous devotion to the Guru and deity inseparably one. So that devotion, so that type of devotion, with your faith and respect, to your guru because of teaching the dependent origination, right? So therefore you General Buddha is very important, right? Because of him, these teachings are exist in this planet. For you, individual, private, to encounter these philosophies by your gurus, right? By your gurus helps you bring you into this philosophy in this kind of field, right? Madhyamika Prasangika tenets. So for you, guru is the one, right? Who brings you into this very important teaching. Without my guru, even these teachings are there, but we cannot able to encounter this teaching. We cannot able to discover this teaching. So for me to discover this teaching is because of my guru. So through that, you're cultivating your faith and respect to your guru inseparably like a Buddha. And that faith and respect attitudes, out of that, then when you pray to the guru, prostration, offering, whatever you're accumulating, merits, right, helps you to understand that emptiness, becoming causes of special, causes of experience emptiness. Also, any obstacle they purify, the, among the variety types of obstacle we have, but the obstacle which obstruct you to understanding the emptiness, those obstacles may purify, may cleanse, right? Then you constantly study, constantly meditate. Then after that, you may experience that emptiness. That's how the what you call Manjushri tell to the Lama Tsongkhapa, right? So therefore, it is kind of I think, each individual, which our previous karma, connecting to our own gurus, right? That our previous karma is some kind of connected. So that is why, through the kindness of teaching the emptiness philosophy and your faith and respect attitude to the guru, your devotion to the gurus, and upon there, your practice, accumulate merit and purify your obstacle constantly. And then through those reasons and study, thinking, research, contemplate it, then finally experience the emptiness. Sometimes even maybe philosophically, or what you call the logically, everything makes sense to you, but not experiencing still. That's also possible. When we study in emptiness, finally you study and you're thinking, everything makes sense. There's nothing, anything exists from the object side independently there. Everything's interconnected, fully dependent, interconnected. Nothing there makes sense to you, but not experiencing that. It's a struggle, right? That's also possible, struggle there. So that is why these devotions and accumulate merit and constantly cleansing your obstacles are very important. So which we call the Mundo practice, Mundo, right? So preliminary practice. Why these are important? Because these practice are helping you to these obstacles. There's certain type of the obstacle which is called ignorance, which we do not know, right? That obstacle through study, through contemplate, you may clean it up. You may understand now, right? Oh, yes, it makes sense, things, nothing there, but not experiencing. In the brain, what you call, uh, from the academic perspective, brain level, everything makes sense, but heart still not experiencing that, right? We have a disconnecting it from heart. So that's why this philosophy, it's not only academic study, same time practicing, accumulate merit and cleansing the obstacle constantly is very, very important, very essential. It's, you have to have this. Without that, we're not going to be experienced these things. So when they're doing these, one of the best way the practice called seven limb practices, right? That's prostration, confession, rejoicing, requesting, entreating, and dedication, right? Is there? Prostration, offering, confession, and then rejoicing, requesting, supplication, dedication, right? So these seven limb practices, every most of the sadhana, when you look at, they have these practices, right? Buddha himself taught this. This is not the Tibetan masters just make it. These are already in the sutra, King of Noble Prayer, one of the very popular prayers we always reciting. It's called the King of Noble Prayer. They have each of these seven limb practices, detail, right, in this prayer. So these are uh, taught by Buddha. So it's mainly each of these seven limb practices helping us to cleansing the obstacle, to accumulate merits. So when we're doing these seven limb practices, the object, which called the merit field, right? So where you accumulate merit, we need the merit field, and through that we accumulate it. So power of merit field, power of your intentions, power of object you're using, that's how your merit is becoming more powerful, more effective, right? Big merit, small merit, big virtues, small virtue, or light virtues. It's also depend on the merit field, what merit field we're using. Also depend on the individual's intention. Also depend on the external or the practice you do, how you do it. So there's so much things. So the one of the best merit field, which we use is our guru, right? Gurus. So therefore, when you, for instance, if you are practicing Tara, for instance, right? Green Tara practitioner. When you're practicing Green Tara, this is little bit part of Vajrayana, but it is important to, we need to know these things when we're doing this practice. Majority people, we're thinking when we say Tara or Avalokiteshvara or medicine Buddha, right? When we saying like Tara means something there. Green Avalokiteshvara means somebody there. Like when we say this is John, this is Mary, right? John is something there, Mary is something. That's how we say Tara, Avalokiteshvara. That's how people are making that way. But actually, the practitioner, when we bring these kind of deities, it's called the deities. And all these, Tara and Manjushri and deities, we call the deities. There are two definitive deity and provisional deities. Two things: definitive deity and provisional deities. Provisional deity is the symbolism. It symbolizes the definitive deities. That's how we should understand, right? So the external green para, right? Her beauty of face, beautiful ornaments, her color of the body, the green, all the beautiful ornaments, her hand mudras and hand holders, right? Opali flowers and all these, where we're seeing these, this is provisional para, provisional para. So it's symbolizing something, the green color or this upali, each of them symbolizing, they're showing something behind the meaning they have, right? So that behind that meaning, the tara is definitive deity, right? Definitive deity. So what is the definitive deity? The tara, when we say tara, definitive deity is enlightened activities, right? Enlightened activities. So that enlightened activity, when you go among this is enlightened activity, what does that mean, right? When we say enlightenment, there are first go two, either Rupakaya, either Dharmakaya, right? Enlightened body and enlightened mind. There are two things. What is that? Part of enlightened mind, right? Enlightened activity is part of enlightened mind, right? It's Dharmakaya. Mainly, it is Dharmakaya. So the enlightened beings, their realization, right? Their enlightened activities, the power they have, these power manifest as a form, physical form, because we don't see the mind, we cannot see them. So it's manifest as a form which is called para, right? That's how we should think. So mainly, definitive deity is the Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya. That's the main thing. So this Dharmakaya enlightened mind, enlightens, what you call the uh, uh, power, enlightened compassion, right? Um, for instance, the white para, there's a one praise, right? So you are the manifestation of enlightened compassion and power and enlightened knowledge. And that's why we praise you. There's a kind of that kind of praise. There's a stanza, they praised the para with that way. So these are the manifestation of enlightened compassion, enlightened knowledge, wisdom. That's how the deity is. So therefore, now what I mean means when you're practicing green para, so the green para, one aspect is enlightened activity, the Dharmakaya manifest as a green para form, right? Green para form. So your guru, is enlightened mind, same, to manifest as an ordinary form. Purpose is to teach me, right? So this kind of form, they use it for sake of teaching us, for the ordinary people. So the ordinary people, if they don't show ordinary forms, if they show same like a deity forms, we will not going to see them. We will not going to hear their teaching. Then what's the point? It's pointless, right? What's the purpose then? So enlightened mind, the Dharmakaya, different aspect they show as a guru aspect is for teaching the dharma for us. Showing as a deity aspect is to blessing to us to achieve the what you call the uh, uh, what do you call in English accomplishment, rather accomplishments, the blessing of accomplishments. So they show different aspect of the form for different purpose. So if those show as a deity aspect, they're not going to help that much. So deity, when we able to see the deities, real deity, we have to achieve certain levels, right? Certain type of the level. Otherwise, we will not going to see them, real deity, right? So to get there, first, first supporter is our ordinary gurus. Gurus are the one who take us to that path. And then finally, you can able to listen the dharma directly from the deities, right? When you reach that level, you don't need ordinary gurus, right? You can directly listen. So therefore, in this moment, today, in my situation, my situation, is the most helper is the guru. And that guru, I can see them, I can learn, I can caution, right? I can receive the dharma. Daily level is a little bit late. After I become a good practitioner, then I can utilize. But today, in the most difficult part, my really savor is my gurus. That is why Dharmakaya, different aspects, show as an ordinary being as my guru, and then deity aspect, sometimes they shows, right? Different aspects. So therefore, the green para and my gurus, the both of them, the source, but the same, they manifest from the Dharmakaya. So they are same entity, right? One coin, two faces, right? One face is as a guru aspect to teach me, one face is as a deity aspect to bless me, right? So that kind of intention, then when you bring it there, guru inseparably with the deities. That's why Manjushri, died to the Lama Tsongkhapa. First, his saying is, you see your guru inseparably with deities, right? We call the guru yoga, deity yoga, which is seeing the guru inseparably with the deities. So that's how that you visualize and you put it there. And then when you do prostration, each 7 limb practice to that merit field, which is the Tara, inseparably with your gurus, manifested by Dharmakayas, all the Buddha's knowledge, right? Enlightened activities manifest that way. So out of those belief and the devotion, when you do prostration, offering, all of them becoming those merits becoming more powerful, more effective than general deity you offer, right? General people, when we're doing the good deity practice, they just Tara means absolutely there's somebody there. It's nothing to do with my guru. This is the Tara there. So we're doing the practice, right? That's, of course, you accumulate merits. But when you put the guru as a main center, which means That Tara and my gurus are exactly the same being, same entity, seeing them as inseparably one. Out of that devotion, when you do your seven limb practices, it becoming more powerful, more effective, right? So it accumulates more merits. That is why it brings you more merit, because the reason is nothing to do with the object side, because mainly you have special connection to your guru. For you, your guru is the most kinder than enlightened beings, Buddhas, right? There are thousands of Buddhas around here. In this era, there are thousands of Buddha will come, right? Arises. But for you, the purpose of this Buddha is turn the wheel of Dharma, teach us. That's the main, nothing else. So for you, who's that doing? Your gurus. So therefore, guru is more kinder than all the Buddha. Therefore, your guru is special merit filled for you. Therefore, when you doing prostration, offering like, out of that devotion, it's becoming the merit, becoming more powerful, more multiplying, right? More stronger. That's why the huge benefit. Therefore, uh, uh, always during the Lamrim practice, they're always encouraging Guru Yoga practice. They're always saying that. So mainly, Guru Yoga mainly, which is means your devotion. Devotion is your faith and respect attitude. That's main yoga, Guru Yoga. It's not just recite some prayers and there are lots of things, praise, all kind of things. But essence of the practice of Guru Yoga, essence is your devotion. Devotion, which means your faith and respect attitude to your Guru. So if you cultivate tremendous faith and respect to your Guru, same as a Buddha, your Guru Yoga practice becomes so powerful. But because of that practice, you much closer, much faster to experience the emptiness. It's a huge differences. It's huge differences. Having Guru Yoga practice from the experiential level. For the academic level, it's not that much. Either you have devotion or not. For the academic, you just purposes, you just understand. But to experience these things, then these are very, very important. But also one very important, most of you know these things, so I don't need to say, but in this generation time, we need to know the other side. Guru Yoga, Guru devotion doesn't mean whatever Guru say, I follow, I listen. That doesn't mean that, right? That doesn't mean whatever Guru say, I just accept it. So that's why sometimes people make mistake. When we practice, always go to the middle way. Don't go to extreme. Extreme, either this side, either other side, extreme, then always there's a risk. Risk. So sometimes not understanding properly Guru Yoga practice, people make lots of mistake. So therefore, one of the extremes doesn't mean whatever Guru say, I listen, right? I follow that way. So that's why now I don't have this specific, they used to have here, there's a one specific word in a Lamrim. Um, Hmm. Maybe. So here one, I use that quote in the Lamrim. When you look at the Lamrim text, in the Guru devotion, the Lama Tsongkhapa Lamrim text, he has that. I'm not sure the page number is not there. Specific in Guru Yoga uh, chapter. Here it is saying there's a one uh, practice called Guru Yoga practice. They're saying is, you know, uh, practicing according to Guru's words. You know, so you're listening the Gurus and practicing uh, uh, according to the Guru words. That's the one of the practice when they're talking about. So in that specific that line, they do the discussion here. Discuss. So here it is saying practicing according to the Guru's words. This means to practice without contradicting what the Guru instructs you to do. This is most important, right? Now, this is the most important. Now, the question is here, we must practice in accord with the Guru's words. Then what if we rely on the Gurus and they lead us to an incorrect path or employ us in activities that are contrary to the three vows? Should we do that? Do what they say. So if we need to follow the Guru words, if Guru lead us incorrect path, right, wrong path, or contrary with the three vows, right? Or monastic vows, bodhisattva vows, tantric vows, if they are contradict with these commitments, should we do what they say? Should we still do it or what? Right? That's the question now. Now here reply, the answer, reply. With respect to this question, Lama Tsongkhapa says, Guna Parva Sutra. There's one sutra called Guna Parva Sutra, which is taught by Buddha, right? It means the sutra on the disciplined state, right? Sutra on the disciplined states. In that sutra, what they're saying is, if the abbot in the Vinaya Sutra, when they say abbot, which means teacher, right? Your teacher. So if the abbot instruct you to do what is not in accord with the teachings, right? Now but the answer? Refuse. The Buddha say refused, right? So here Buddha says, if the abbot, the teacher, instruct you to do what is not not in accord with the teachings, with the Dharma, refused. So Buddha even say Buddha himself refused. So similarly, is another sutra, the Cloud of Jewels Sutra. There are a number of sutra he used it similar that. So which means if the teaching is, contradict with the Dharma, then even your guru's own word, you can refuse that, right? So therefore, guru devotion doesn't mean, oh, it's my guru, I have to do it. Even there's wrong instruction, if you do it, then big problem. Ended up with the big problems, right? So refuse. But also here, one very important part. Lama Tsongkhapa says, you refuse it, right? You refuse that, don't follow, but he or she is your guru, so keep your faith and respect attitude as the same, because that's your devotion practice, right? You can refuse the things which is not make sense, which is contradict with the Dharma, refuse it. But your faith and respect to that guru, because somehow it is your guru. Keep that same faith and respect attitude. Don't change that. So if your devotion is changed, then your practice will going to be affected, right? It makes sense. Then here Lama Tsongkhapa says, furthermore, now he gives us the very important part. When you rely on your gurus in this way, occur a portion of their teachings. No, sorry, that one. However, it is improper to take the guru's wrong actions as a reason for subsequent misbehavior, such as disrespecting, reproaching, or despising the gurus. Rather, excuse yourself politely and do not engage in what you were instructed to you to do. So that's why he says, if you disrespect to the guru because of his wrong teaching, because of his wrong action, through that reason, if you disrespect or misbehave, or if you, show something, what you call devotion, your devotion lacked, right? Your devotion collapsed. That means not good for you. So that's why keep your devotion, respect, attitude same as a Buddha, but do not, right? Do not engage in what you were instructed to do. Do not engage those mistakes, those wrong instruction he or she told you. Do not engage it. Keep away with that. Stay away with that, keeping your respect attitude as same as a Buddha. That's the middle way, right? Not falling into one of these twos. So that's why this is one very, very important as a practitioner, because sometimes we make lots of mistakes like these things. When we first encounter with the guru, we don't know how to check the gurus, then ended up with sometimes we have a problem with them, right? So therefore, somehow he or she, through them, you receive the teaching. You get some benefit. That's how you ended up the Dharma. So appreciate that. Any good things you received it, you appreciate, think about that, keep your devotion, all the wrong instruction or mistake instruction, do not follow, refuse that, and keeping your faith and respected same as a Buddha. Right? That's your devotion. Your devotion is your mind, is your faith and respect attitudes. So when you have that tremendous faith and respect attitude to your guru, and that will give you result. Finally, it is saying, I mentioned last time, maybe during the Lamrim teaching, there's one mother, she has so much faith to the Buddha Shakyamuni statue in Lhasa, right? It's in Tibet. She has tremendous faith, but she lives in very far. She cannot go there. She always asks to her son, who is the businessman, when you go to the Lhasa, please bring blessing. So son was always forgetting. So it's been many times. So one time when son was coming back, close to the mother, back to the home, then he realizing, he forget again to bring the blessing from, Buddha Shakyamuni statue in Lhasa. So he looked at here, there, he saw there's the one dead dog body, right? The crops there. So he go there, look at, he found their teeth. So he picked up one teeth from that dog and put it into the beautiful silk, make very nicely beautiful. Then he come back to the home when his mother asked him, did you bring this blessing? He said, yeah, today you are very lucky. I got the Buddha's, his teeth. The mother was so happy and she put it in the altar. Every morning she prostration, offering, like so much. Then one day, from that dark teeth, shining the lights and reflecting to her, huge big lights. So she was so happy and called to her son, come here, blessing. Her son completely ignored because he know this is dog teeth. So somehow the mother forced him, then he had to come. When he look at real from that teeth, right? It shine the lights and blessing to them. So it's showing other side, whatever there. If you have tremendous faith and respect attitude, you will receive exactly the same blessing. It's based on your faith and your belief. It's nothing to go with the other side that much. So therefore, even disqualified guru or whoever, but as long as when they're your guru, then you can keep it that same faith and respect according to your karma. It's appeared this way or that way. So you can, look from that perspective. So keeping your faith and respect attitude, that's the very, very important. So today I just give a little bit talk about the Guru devotion because of my purpose here is not only academic perspective. So we really need to experience this emptiness. So what we learn, we need to practice together. So with the Guru devotion, when you do this practice, there's a more chance to experience the emptiness. So that's why maybe next week, Thursday, we're going to do little guide meditation on emptiness because this month is Sakadawa. So the month uh, uh, the month of the Buddha who achieved enlightenment, parinirvana, and the birth, all of these three, right? And also some calendar or some uh, history, they believe in the Buddha's ordination day, which is usually they're called the Sakadawa's 8, which is this Sunday, right? The Sakadawa, the lunar calendar fourth, and the fourth month, 8th day is the special day of, general is the Tara, the days. So majority people are practicing Tara. So this is Sakadawa, and also some believer, they believe in Buddha ordained in this day 8. So it's also kind of very, very auspicious. So these days, when you meditate on emptiness, is really, really because of the special day as more what you call opportunity to experience. It's this special day, special practice when you do it, and this is somehow it's something more chance, having more chance to experience emptiness. So then when you do this practice, one of the simplest, actually I will going to guide maybe the next class, next 28, which is almost very close to the full moon. So that they maybe will do the one meditation, but just give you small, simple ways, during this meditation. Even right now, we are studying on this place-dependent origination upon your crown. You can visualize the lotus flower, sun and moon cushion, and Buddha Shakyamuni, right? So, like a same, maybe around 2 inches or something. So, seeing Buddha Shakyamuni and your gurus are inseparably one, same like a deity, inseparably one. So that he is the one, Buddha Shakyamuni is the manifestation of the Dharmakaya, right? The Dharmakaya in the APA is a Buddha Shakyamuni form. So then different century, it shows different form in this 21st century. According to my karma, it's appear as a my gurus fame, right? If you have 10 gurus, 20 gurus, whatever, right? They're all manifestation of Buddha Shakyamuni. They're the same. So form of Buddha Shakyamuni upon your crown. Then little bit meditate on remember the guru's kindness, right? There are many other kindness. Specific, most important kindness is kindness of teaching the Dharma. That's none of others done that, and that's the most important, the kindness. So compared with all the Buddhas around there, none of these, teach us. Right? For us, we didn't receive any one sentence from them. So only my guru, who's the one who everything, all the dharma we receive because of my gurus. So main benefit is the teaching. That's the main benefit. To becoming Buddha is for sake of teaching the Dharma, right? So that I received from my guru. So through that, you cultivate your devotions, tremendous feel devotions from deep of your heart. All devotion means tremendous respect attitude, right? Of faith and respect. You can feel kind of the very, what you call, uh, sad. Sometimes maybe feel a little sad. Sometimes you may feel a little bit joy. These all kind of mixing feelings through your gurus, through remember the kindness of teachings, right? So just hold any feel when you tremendous appreciation, you're feeling gratitude, whatever, hold it that for a few minutes. So feeling tremendous that. Then you do one very short meditation on 7 limb practices, prostration to him, offering your merit, and you confess all your negative karma you accumulate through him, right? To him, and all the rejoicing, requesting, all these 7 limb practices done. And then recite the mantra, Om Muni Muni Ma Muni Soha, right? Buddha's dream the recitation, the mantra, same time, then you meditate on emptiness, right? So reciting mantra with meditate on emptiness, experience, right? Finally, they say nothing, anything. My guru is also just label it, it just designate it, try to find ways my guru. Each of his body is not him. Each of his different aspect of the mind is also not them. So checking they're nothing. Myself, I'm meditating. Since I was looking, but when you look at, there's a nothing, anything from there, right? Nothing, anything from the object state. So then you're feeling maybe, nothing. It's like a empty, like a space. And that doesn't mean it is non-exist, because I'm meditating right now, right? I am meditating. So if I'm not exist, how can I meditate? I'm the one who's thinking now. Where is it? So there's something there. So look at it. You cannot find it's like a space. So where the existence is just label, right? Just impute it. That's where. That's all. Just label, impute it, and it's functioning. There's nothing there where the existence is just exists dependently by names and thoughts, where they just label it, right? It's nothing solid. So empty means dependence. Dependent means empty. So when you feel that, then you just hold it and remain on that experience, right? How long you can go. You can do it that way. So it's good to do daily, at least even 5 minutes. Emptiness meditation long is very difficult. And even you do 2 minutes on emptiness is very, very good. It's always, because of not achieving shamatha, your mind's always wake up, always disturbed. Even few seconds remain there, just hold it and sit there, right? So that's how you do oftenly. And that's Guru Yoga practice is also there. Guru devotion with and preliminary practice. Mondo is also there, 7 practice you've done. Then actual practice, emptiness meditation. Then after that, then you can dedicate. So that's, doing this Sakadawa, if you do it every day, even 5-10 minutes, not need to recite many prayers, just simple visualize and do that way. And do this meditation there's a way to one day maybe experience that emptiness. Even just meditate on few seconds is huge, accumulates huge merits, virtues. Then when you do more like that way, eventually you become familiar with this meditation. Then sometime when you ended up with very scary things, right? Very dangerous things when we encounter, just at the moment you do this meditation, everything is just label, imputed. There's nothing, anything solid there. So why I need to worry? Why I need to feel this? So I, whose worry weighs it, his body is not me, this is not me, weighs, it just label everything's. So it's huge, helps you to heal from all these mental pains and sufferings, right? So that's how, but when you have no experience on this thing, then it's very difficult. So when you do it as constantly every day, even 5-10 minutes, do this practice, then, when you are certainly when you need something, when you just apply this meditation, it's just at the point, it heals you, from these issues, the pain you have. So, and then when you become very familiar, finally, most important part is when we are dying, right? When we are dying, then we really focusing on this emptiness meditation. I will really focus, right? You have to commit it, put effort. Then finally, when your mind is dying with experiencing on emptiness, then the last stage, the clear light stage, when you reach it, definitely there's a more chance to experience emptiness in the clear light stages. Usually it is saying in the clear light stage, as ordinary beings, we appear the emptiness. It's appearing in our mind. Emptiness is appearing, but we are not recognizing that. Because we are not familiar with this, so we're not recognizing. Even they're appearing, but not recognizing. So when you've done this practice many times during the clear light stage, when they appear, now you recognize. So that's why it is saying mother clear light stage, right? And the child clear light stage. So mother and child clear light stage, you recognize, mother recognize the child, her child. It is same like in the clear light stage when these emptiness, when they appear to your mind and you recognize. You don't need to analyze. It's already appearing. So you just recognize that. So when you're able to do that, that's the best. That's the best meditation. Because clear light stage of the mind is one of the most powerful mind. None of others thought can destruct it. There's no destruction at all. It's just one subtle mind, single pointed. So when that time, if you single pointed on emptiness, remain there, no destruction, right? It's very, very, very powerful. So when you remain on that clear light stage with the emptiness, then when you battle and then go to the next life, because of the clear light stage of the mind, it's called primordial mind. When you plant the seed very deep emptiness in your primordial mind, rest of the mind has more chance to experience emptiness much easier. So it's huge benefit. That's why it's good to do every day, at least 5 minutes, right? And do familiarity. Instead of many deities, many things, sometimes very complicated. Deity practice are good. You plant the seed for Vajrayana when you achieve that kind of level, right? But the ordinary, this level, difficult. Even the deity, when you visualize, the deity coming created by your wisdom of emptiness. Your wisdom of emptiness is the one become a deity, either self-generation, either fun generation. It's not something deity come there and sit there, right? It's not about that. All the deities are your wisdom of emptiness. So first you meditate, when we recite in Om Sambhava Shita Savadama, Sabhava Shita Ham, most of the deity yoga has this reciting that mantra, right? Before, which is means meditate emptiness. And then your wisdom of emptiness then turn into syllable or anything, and that syllable become a deity. So it's mainly your wisdom of him. So right now, you have know that. So what is the deity there? It's not basic. There's no basic things there. The basis, of the deity is the real basis, ground. Who create that is your wisdom of emptiness. So without that, it's nothing there. So that is why this wisdom of emptiness meditation is really, really important. Then through experience on emptiness, then even you do any deity yoga or whatever, then you can create this deity, either from generation and self-generation, whatever coming from Dharmakaya, your wisdom of emptiness, right? So that's how I emptiness is very, very important. So therefore, study constantly, meditate, then there is a chance to experience that emptiness, right? Okay, so we're going to stop here. So today we finish 4 stanza. So now we are stanza 22. So this is now different chapter. I think from beginning to this stanza 21, all of these stanzas mainly emphasize on praising to the Buddha, on teaching the dependent origination means empty of inherent existence. So through teaching on dependent origination means empty of inherent existence, and then praise to the Buddha. So that part is finished. Now the next chapter we're going to a little different, but it's similar, but like that, but way of their praise is a little bit differences. Okay, we're going to stop here. So today, it's already 8:30, so now question answer section. But my request is this, during the Sakadava, do it this practice, right? The wisdom of, and I told you this simple, Guru Yoga, practice with emptiness meditation, at least 5 minutes, even you do it. It's, I think, really powerful. So Sakadawa celebration, for maybe we have around still 10 days, we have till full moon. So every day, maybe at least 4 or 5 minutes, do this practice. We'll, after finish the full moon, maybe we feel like, during this Sakadawa, I have little bit different experience on emptiness, right? That's at least. So that kind of experience, we need to go step by step, little step. You have to start it. If you don't do it, if you not start it, it will remain same, very academic way. So you have to go there, you have to practice, you have to start it, even 5 minutes, right? You can start it. So it is very important, and able to learn these practices very, very your past life has some connection with study on this emptiness. Otherwise, it is not easy to receive those kind of emptiness teaching and so forth. So this is kind of the your past life has some kind of connection with this philosophy. Many people you look at, they don't have these opportunities. Even the Buddhists, even this, they have always have something, cannot participate teaching, cannot. There always some struggle there. So obstacles around there. So it's not easy to receiving these kind of teachings. So it's kind of the sometimes you should feel I'm really good opportunities. My past life done something. So this life I need to improve more now. So I know my past life is not experienced emptiness. Therefore, this life I'm still not yet. So now I put my effort to experience that. So my next life makes much easier now, right? To go to the path much faster way. So that's how you need to expect. You need to be plan this, as it's important. Okay, so finally, we're now going to do the dedication prayer. Samsara and nirvana lack even an atom of true existence, while cause and effect and dependent arisings are infallible. I seek your blessing to discern the import of Nagarjuna's thought that these two are complementary and not contradictory. Chanju Simjo Rinpoche, Mache Panam Kechuchi, Kyaba Nyamba Mebaya, Kone Kondo Pewa Show. May the precious and sublime bodhicitta, not yet born, be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forever. Snow in the snowy mountain paradise, you are the source of good and happiness. Powerful in Zinjatsu Chenresi, may you stay until samsara ends. Throughout the world, and in particular this region, may there be no sickness, famine, war, and so on. May all sentient beings live happily in accord with the law of Dharma, and may they all find wealth, prosperity, and all goodness.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Please live long.
Thank you, Geshe. Please stay.
Oh, wait. What's going on?